Jesting, jesting. It's been so long I can't remember what's the last thing I talked about. Happy New Year 2026. Today is Sunday, January 25th. Oh man, why do I even still do this? I don't know. I think I like them. But clearly I don't like them that much that I keep doing them regularly. Not sure why that is. I've been distracted. Oh. Hello. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I guess. Why not? You're listening to The Brave Traveler. I'm your host, IR. And sometimes I think, the stuff I want to talk about, the stuff I believe in, is not part of the regular world stuff, society shit. And I'm not talking about like real things. I mean, the things we all reluctantly agree on. Matrix shit, pretty much. And I don't mean that life is a motherfucking computer simulation. It's a simulation, all right, but not a fucking computer simulation, as some fucking idiots would have you believe. I told myself I'm not going to curse as much this time, but I guess it's part of who I am. It's how I express. It's how I emphasize. Gosh darn it. Anyways, I digress. I was saying, and that's why sometimes I think, well, since the system is against me, against anyone that wants to reveal too much, and not only that, they've already programmed people to be against the truth through school, television, movies, music, just fucking everything. It's in video games. They're just handing out misinformation left and right. And I realize that most people are just so fucking stupid. They believe they know everything, right? If you've ever been a teenager in high school, you remember that feeling that I know what it's all about. Well, you don't grow out of that for, I don't know, how fucking long. You just get a little older and you still think that you got shit figured out. Sad part is those people never really figure it out. And they never shift into becoming the type of person that will not believe shit at face value, let alone at commercial value, where you don't even know who the fuck they are. They just sell it to you. They're a brand. You don't know who's behind it. Not that you can't know, but most people won't take the time to research. I'll give you an example. The other day I was looking at this bag of sourdough bread. Turned it around, looked at the ingredients, and it was a paragraph long. Fucking sourdough bread should always just be four ingredients, or at least that's pretty much all you need: water, salt, flour, and the sourdough starter. That's it. Why does the shit at the store have a paragraph or two list of ingredients? It's you don't need that garbage. So, but most people don't take the time to look. Too lazy. Or if they do look, they get stopped in their research almost immediately when there's a word they've never fucking heard of. Riboflavin, flavonoids. Like, what the fuck? Now, I know that the assholes that make this shit are doing that on purpose because they don't really want you to know what what's in it. What's in the shit that they're putting into the stuff you're buying and eating, like insects crushed for food coloring, plastics, and other types of fucking poisons. Like, I heard the other day that the salads that I like eating a lot are usually like triple washed mixed salad, that they're being washed in chlorine. How do you get that out? How do you get chlorine out of the leaf if it's already seeped in there? I don't know. The only solution I could think of is research what's actually in the mixed salad and buy them individually. For a lot of people, because a lot of people are lazy, that's too much. That's like, I have to buy this and this and then I have to chop it up. And yeah, better that than poisoning yourself or your family. So let me explain my absence. I've been distracted and procrastinating. At first, it was the Outlast trials, and I don't recommend that game to anyone. It is a gay, satanic piece of shit, and it's after a while, it's not scary. It's just annoying, and you have to really wonder if Franco was some gay guy's idea of scary, and he didn't realize it's just annoying. Out of all the main monsters, Cole, Gooseberry, uh, the other ones, the twins. Franco's the least frightening and more on the annoying. There's this new one where it's a ghost that can possess killer mannequins. Why anyone would repeatedly make the same killer mannequin over and over again? I guess Murkoff would, of course. So I don't have any problem with any of the monsters except for Franco. He's just so fucking annoying. His dialogue is trash. He's not scary, and he can shoot you from across the map. But that's it. Um, I think the reason why I kept playing it's because it is a social game, and it's not exactly Friday the 13th, which was perfect. I love that game. That was a motherfucking multiplayer game. Um, but it's close. The Friday the 13th game was the group was bigger, so it always felt like a fucking party. Like you go to this part of the map or that part of the map, meet some new people, help each other out. It was cool. It was fucking cool. probably why they killed it, because it was actually like, no, now fucking gamers are gonna think that all games should be this good. Outlast Trials looks pretty good, I guess. You know, graphics wise. But why are the groups so fucking small? You play in groups of four or less, which I don't know. Sometimes that's all right. Most of the time it sucks. I stopped playing it. I took it off. I erased it for months, actually. I thought it was just a giant fucking waste of time. And honestly, I've done everything. I've gotten every outfit that I even liked. Most of them are garbage. It's a joke that they even charge for some of them. They're so stupid looking. After that, my distraction became Hollow Knight, Silk Song. Oh, by the way, and I started bodybuilding. So this was, I have almost 8 months doing it on a daily basis, and I can almost hear some of you saying, "That's not possible." My ex girlfriend's daughter even said it to me. She's like, "That's not possible. You can't work out every day. You're gonna burn out." All I could say to her was, "Some people are different." This isn't the first time I've done it this way. When I was younger, I used to work out every day for a lot longer. I mean, pretty much the entire fucking day. I didn't have a job. I didn't do anything. All I did was pretty much wake up and go to the gym, come back and sleep, rinse and repeat. Um, I think the difference is it depends on your goals, you know, like how focused you are, how much this matters to you. You know, it's the difference between a regular person, this doesn't really mean much, and somebody that wants to accomplish something. So, yeah, I guess for most people, working out or going to the gym is just, it's whatever. Doesn't matter that much. I go for an hour every other day. um, I work out every day. Um, I, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours, sometimes more, sometimes less, but it's usually around there. um, how can I do that? Practicing semen retention, um, sleeping at the right hours, eating clean. You know, like being really cautious about what I eat. I also run every day. I started running since the beginning of September. That probably does something. Um, I bought a couple of devices off of Amazon that help like exercise your lungs. They're like breathing machines. They feel like little games, but they're real fucking good. Those work. I've been doing a lot of neck exercises, like not just to the sides, but the back and the front. Exercising the front of my neck has actually deepened my voice some, noticeably. I mean, not like, whoa, who the fuck is that? But it's a little better. I'd say my voice now sounds more like my voice when I wake up in the morning. You know, how your voice is deeper in the morning, and gradually throughout the day, it just goes back to its regular position, I guess. So, what I heard is that the reason that happens is because in the morning, that's what you really sound like. Your vocal cords are relaxed. Throughout the day, if your neck is not that strong, your vocal cords will actually try to pick up the slack, which is fucking weird, right? But that's apparently what it is. And so your voice will not sound as low. But if your neck is strong, then your vocal cords never try to pick up any slack. I've been doing that for maybe 2 months. I'm gonna say maybe 2 months. Let's just say 1 month. Doesn't really feel like 2 months yet. But I notice results almost instantly, and you know what? I'm wrong. It probably is 2 months. Anyways, I've been having fun with the results I've been getting. It's kind of weird though. The ex girlfriend, she acted more of a bitch. The stronger, more cut and lean I was getting, which reminded me of this uh, other relationship I had a long time ago, also around the time when I was working out every day. So this person had met me when I was at my peak condition when I used to go to the gym regularly. And she always wanted me to eat the worst, most horrible, fattening garbage with her, which is what she enjoyed. And yes, she did end up becoming a whale, baby whale. Um, but she wasn't at the time. At the time, she looked good. I mean, I didn't put up with her stupid shit at the time for nothing. Um, it would have been, I'm sure, even at that time, a part of me must have known that, you know what, she's eventually going to become obese. But, she was young, she's eating like shit, and at that time, it just made her look, curvy, feminine. I mean, voluptuous, nice. But I'm sure a part of me knew that, this dumb bitch is really gonna ruin herself physically. And she was trying to do the same thing to me. And I kid you not, I sort of bent to her will and I was eating the garbage that she was. And of course, it was taking its toll on my physique. And she was happy with that. She was happy when I wouldn't go to the gym. In her mind, I wasn't at the gym. I was fucking random women. And then years later, like just recently, the ex, I basically dated the same bitch. She looked a little different, but she acted exactly the same. And I know some of you might be thinking, like, well, you were probably acting full of yourself. See, and that would be a good reason. I agree. But I know that I wasn't. So I'm not that type of person. I mean, especially when it comes to a significant other, that'd be really stupid to behave that way. And I don't consider myself a stupid person. So, no, I wouldn't do that. If for whatever reason I wanted to be an asshole, I would do it to someone that doesn't matter. And even then, I don't even do that. But I would absolutely, definitely not do it to someone I care about and I'm close to. Only idiots do that, and stupid women. Oh, let's see what's next. Oh, and Hollow Knight Silk Song, of course. If you don't already know, that game is fucking magic. Perfect. It's just like perfection. It's got a great story, great characters, great sound. It's really fun to play. The fighting is amazing. The I don't know, you have to fucking play it. I was lucky enough to become a fan of the original Hollow Knight. I didn't think I would, but as soon as I started playing the original Hollow Knight, I just couldn't stop playing it. It was so good. And I think, thankfully, I didn't have to wait the 7 fucking years, but I did end up waiting like, I think 2 years or close to 2 years, almost 2 years, something like that. I had no idea how long it was gonna be. It was only 2 years, which is not as bad as 7 fucking years, of course. But I had no idea how long it would be because everyone was saying like, "Oh, it's been 7 years," and I saw the commercial and I thought it was great. Getting to play it finally, I mean, immediately I was hooked with the vibrant colors. The original Hollow Knight, he's not vocal, like really not at all whatsoever. I can't remember a voice there. Not like Hornet, who's constantly Adidas, get good. I think that's awesome that they even made her say get good. It's reminiscent of all the memes I would see for the Dark Souls stuff, you know? Like Dark Souls and all the other games of From Software are considered, in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of a lot of people, but let's just go with my opinion because mine's the one that counts right now. The From Software games are the hardest fucking games in gaming history, and they're works of art. They're fun. They're addicting. The From Software games are the fucking peak of the mountain. And Hollow Knight is definitely right up there with them. It has earned a spot right there with them. Those fights are epic and fun. And the story is great. Yeah, can't really say enough about it. And DLC will be releasing soon, I hope. Well, all I know is it's this year. Actually, I don't know why, but I thought it was coming out in February, but then I researched it a little more, and who can say? Sea of Sorrows. That looks fun because there's a little clip of that place in the original Hollow Knight Silk Song trailer. So I don't know why they didn't just include it, especially having that much fucking time. Um, well, we'll see. Can't wait for that. In the trailer, you get to see that there's a cage on top of somewhere, and there's probably something in that cage where the plasmium is coming from. So I'm eagerly awaiting that, and I'm almost done with the entire game. Right now, I am fighting the Green Prince and his ghost uh, butt buddy. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be his wife or his gay pal. No idea. Just looking at my list as usual of shit I wanted to say. Yeah, I think I already said that. Esoteric information is not easy to communicate. Oh, yeah. I wrote, I stopped playing online games because people seem to be getting dumber, like low IQ retarded. And I don't like people like that. It's true. Especially players of Outlast Trials. Like today, I had two people, and of course they're women, stick out. One, I can't even say it. She sounded so fucking stupid. I just played one game with her, and I'm like, that's it. That's enough. And another one, I can't remember. She just sounded like she had a big giant goblin nose, and everything she said was just confirming it nonstop. After we had one trial, I just said, that's enough for me. And I cut ties with anyone from my past that fit that description. Dumb, low IQ idiots who like to say, bro, at everything, at every fucking chance they get. Like a flag for the rest of us to know how stupid they are. I can't stand the bro people. Even they're right there with the motherfucking bruh people. I think it's a sign of mental retardation. Let me explain. They are conformists. They don't see the problem. Problem could be smacking them in the face. They don't fucking see it. They hear a group of people saying a word, it doesn't matter what it is, they'll just start repeating it. Yeah, I don't like people like that. We have too many of those small forehead, incomplete brain, probably NPC artificial people. I think I heard in a post today on X that I hope this is wrong. 70% of people don't have an inner dialogue. Like, what the fuck, man? And I kind of felt like, I think I've met people like this. I have. I asked one person if if he has an inner dialogue, and he said no. And guess what? This person is constantly fucking talking, like narrating his motherfucking life. If he sees some shit out the window, he will vocalize it, even if it doesn't matter. Like, oh, the billboard says this. So that's what fucking people that have no inner dialogue are like. They're unbelievably stupid. They end up saying more than they should. Like for the rest of us that do have that inner dialogue that says, no, don't tell them how fucking stupid they are. That, it's not necessary. They don't have that. So they say the dumbest shit in the fucking world. Like, for example, this is a good example. I just remembered. I had a cousin die in a car accident when I was younger. And I had an uncle visit. And his version of trying to be nice, motherfucker, was bringing it up, saying, hey, I heard you had a cousin that had his head cut off. By the way, all I knew is that he died in a car accident. I didn't know the rest of it. This fucking dumb, retarded, faggot piece of shit. And he's not a homosexual, but he is faggy as fuck. He thinks it's okay to say that because he just apologized first? My goodness. So yeah, these incomplete brained idiots exist. And man, I really wish we could take back society from the bad guys and implement all the new shit that we understand now about reality. Like, it's not just humans, it's NPCs, probably homunculus. You got the orcs and the goblins. I mean, that would be so nice if we could just be honest. If we could publish and give away the Talmud to everyone, that would be so fantastic. My favorite part, I can't quote directly, but I probably could if I did a search. But there is one part, and you can too if you do the search, where they're essentially saying, never admit the truth to the Goyim. Just lie, deny, deny. Oh, man. Why do people not like our greatest ally? Who can say? It's probably antiseptic shit. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yeah. I heard Netflix is acquiring Warner Brothers. So, you know what the fuck that means? Movies, as we know them, are done for. It'll all be gay, race mixing, satanic shit with the clergy plan and all that. So, I look forward to never watching a movie again. Nothing new, at least. I look forward to getting rid of my motherfucking television. I have a 65-inch television, and I don't want it anymore. I think it demands way too much attention, and it definitely takes up way too much space. I bought this fucking thing like 4 years ago, I want to say. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I don't want it anymore. I don't want to watch television anymore. I think I'm reaching the end of my TV time. I think I'll probably enjoy going to the theater even more without a television. I want to sell it. So, let me take you on this journey as to why I've reached this conclusion. Because in my time off, I did watch some movies. I saw a movie on Netflix called Bright Burn. It's a reimagining of the Superman story. It's like a what if Superman was a fucking psycho? What if he was sent to Earth to destroy it? Which I think is part of the General Zod story. Kind of. Um, so the spaceship that this pseudo Superman arrives in is it has a built-in uh hypnotizing frequency, whatever the fuck, machine built to go off when he's around a certain age. He looked 12 or 13, I don't know. So he's been strong since always, just like Superman. But then all of a sudden, it starts talking to him, to his head, like programming, and he becomes evil. And he kills his step parents, and now he's just going to destroy everything. It was so shitty. And especially for me, because since I know what the cabal looks like, I know about the 13th tribe, and I know the physiology. I mean, is that even the right word? Physiognomy and the phrenology of the Khazarians. I know what they look like. I know what size foreheads they have. I know what the jaws look like. I know what the big old goblin noses that they have look like. And the beady eyes. I also know that they controlled the slave trade throughout the world. And that their King Bulan or some shit decided to, that they would all become, that they would all convert to Judaism. And they stationed themselves from Central Asia, where their country used to be, but you won't find it on any recent maps, until Genghis Khan almost destroyed all of them and they went to Turkey in Europe. This is where the big conversion, or what else could you call it? The big lie started. And then they moved to, I believe it was England, Norway, and Denmark. And they rose to power there. And I guess they became the Ashkenazi Jews. Oh, boy. Shit doesn't make that much sense until you read the Talmud, until you realize that the Talmud used to be Babylonian. Then it might start to make more sense, right? Because the Babylonians or Sumerians, whatever you want to call them, they had their own gods, and Baal was one of them. Tiamat or Tiamad was some giant dragon that created everything pretty much. Marduk killed her, and Ishtar. I haven't read that one. I read the Epic of Gilgamesh, and I read the. What the fuck? It's got a weird name. Enuma Elish, something like that. It's the 7 tablets. It's the creation story of Samaria by the Sumerians. I mean, it's pretty short. The Epic of Gilgamesh was a lot better, and I haven't read the the Ishtar one, where she kind of like goes to hell and then heaven, or maybe the other way around. I'll read that eventually, I guess. I couldn't find the collected version. That one, the Remsha. Can't remember what it's called, but it was really hard to find. Must be a collector's item. I kind of feel that they're the Canaanites, the descendants of Cain. I kind of think that when Cain was branded with that mark that you can't fucking hurt him or else, right? Because he was booted out by God because he killed Abel. And then he said, no, because they're going to kill me. Which is an understandable concern. I'm just making fun of him because he's a murderer, fearing that he himself will go through the same thing. Um, who did he have kids with, right? So it says in the Gnostic stuff that the demons made their own people as well. And if you read the Nag Hammadi, you'll see what color it says they were. Of course, if you've already read The Lord of the Rings, you probably already know. I actually thought Gandalf was just a fictional character. He's in the Prose Edda, the creation story of Iceland, you know, Odin and Thor and all that stuff. Gandalf's in there. I did not know that. I don't think most people actually know that. I broke my chair. Oh, man. I bought this $200 Lazy Boy executive chair. Like, what the fuck? Like, 5 years ago. I've had this bitch for 5 years. Within the first 2 years, I think I wore down the motherfucking leather. So I bought a cover for it. That took care of that problem. I wish I had thought of it before I wore down the leather, but I haven't owned that many leathery things. But then, like a month, maybe a month or two ago, I was leaning back and it sort of collapsed a little bit on one side. I have no idea how the fuck to fix it. But to be honest, I haven't really like taken a good look. Flip the chair, inspection it, all that shit. I haven't done that. I should just in case. But well, I don't know. Just waiting to see, I guess. So I didn't like Brightburn because oh yeah, that's where I was going. I wasn't just talking about the chosen and our greatest ally for no reason. All right, here's what I wanted to say. I know what they look like. I know the shape of their eyes, their nose, the jaw, the forehead, and it doesn't matter whether it's they're white, black, Chinese looking. It doesn't matter. If you know their physiognomy, their phrenology, the shape of their heads, the bone structure, you know when it's them. And all I can say is that there's a lot of them in Mexico that would swear to you, I am not one of them. And they are being sincere. They don't know. Most people don't know. You really just have to find this shit out. Now, you might be programmed to self sabotage and not know why this matters. Let me explain in this with this little anecdotal story. There's these two people that found a baby beaver in the forest. They took it home to domesticate it. They raised it as a regular pet. And they give it stuffed animals to play with. And what does he do with his stuffed animals? He builds bridges, he builds dams. Never grew up in the forest. And he has this natural, instinctive inclination to do what a fucking beaver does. My point, doesn't matter if they know who they are. Doesn't matter if they look brown, black, white. If they are of that group, whether they know it or not, it's still gonna come out in their actions, in their decisions. You'll see it. Now, who are these Khazars? What do they do? Well, they were a sex cult. Dick worshippers. They loved phallics. Kind of explains why in Hollywood you see so much dick but never vagina. And then if you read the Talmud, you're like, oh, they think that being gay is normal. It goes a little further than that. They think that doing the opposite of what the Bible says is normal. They are Satanists. They're pretty much the descendants of the fallen, of the demons, of horrible people. Now, look, I don't condemn people that aren't even in that group, that might have some of that genes or biology, whatever. I know I just said that they're going to do what they do, and more often than not, that is absolutely correct. But I also believe in free will. I think they can resist it if they know the truth. But who's going to fucking tell them the truth? And then also, should you tell them the truth? I kind of feel that most people resist the truth until they themselves discover it. So, you know, even thinking like that, it's like, am I even helping? Should I actually expose the truth? But look, I don't demand that anyone believe anything I say. All I really want is for people to check it out for themselves. Keep it in mind. Truth will prove itself to you. All right, let me come back to Brightburn now that I've established that these people all look the same. Um, what I discovered is that everyone in movies is part of that group. Fucking everyone. When you think you're looking at a white person, you're looking at one of them, and they don't like white people, so I don't consider them white. Even if it looks like I'm staring at a white person, I'll look at his nose. I'll look at how close the eyes are, how tiny they are. I'll look at the overbite, the small, weak chin. I'll look at the oversized ears, the tiny forehead. And if that's not enough, I'll listen to them talk. Do they sound gay? um, they'll usually off camera or in their personal lives, they'll be into debauchery. not normal things. It'll be more about perversion, extremism, violence. Yeah, I used to be one of them, so I understand. And it's true. I don't think anyone would have been able to tell me the truth. I had to discover it on my own. So I couldn't help but notice that everyone in Brightburn is part of the group. That doesn't make me immediately turn the shit off or anything, but I will pay attention. I will keep an eye out, keep an ear open. And in the usual spiel is white people are horrible, black people are the solution. Um, Women are so strong and powerful, they know exactly what to do at all times, and men are just dumb morons. That's it. That's always what they do, what they say, making little side cracks about Christianity, trying to make it look dumb. If you know what they always do, you can tell. And then I will start skipping shit. And Brightburn was garbage. I saw Avatar, Fire and Ash in the theater for 3 fucking hours. I think that thing could have been 2 hours and it would have been the same movie. Except I wouldn't have murdered 3 hours. I don't know. That movie didn't really feel like it had much to offer other than the look at how nice her special effects are. Doesn't it look real? And yes, it does. But was the story worth it? I don't know. I didn't really feel like that movie was necessary. I didn't feel like it mattered whatsoever. I liked the evil sexual bitch who is, for whatever the fuck reason, the leader of the evil gang. That doesn't make any fucking sense. But sure, yep. She reminds me of all the horrible, slutty, bitch piece of shit whores that I used to enjoy when I was younger because I was a fucking idiot because of fucking piece of shit movies like Avatar, Ash, and Fire. Other than that, no. The movie could have been reduced by a lot. It didn't need to be 3 hours. Not at all. If you need 3 hours to tell that fucking story of Avatar, Fire, and Ash, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Now, I get it. For a lot of people, looking at special effects in a James Cameron movie, hey, that feels special. We gotta watch that. And then Cameron's investors are like, the Goyim, they're so stupid. Just make sure it's like 3 hours. I don't care if it's retarded and unnecessary. As long as it's pretty, they'll love it. I won't be surprised if the pathetic Academy Awards of the club just award the fuck out of this. Although I take that back. They tend to award shit that they believe the Goyim will be influenced by. And there was nothing memorable about Avatar 3. Um, I get that the villain of the first two movies is now kind of turning good ish because he cares about his son. Uh that stuck with me, of course. Uh he liked the wild bitch, even though honestly, how is it that he used to hate them, but now he's got one of their bodies? So he's like, well, I mean, they didn't show them fucking, so it has not been confirmed to me that they fuck like regular humans. I kind of think they do, but then you see them with their ponytail shit, so I am not sure what and how they do. I'm just gonna have to assume that they do it human style. But yeah, they have those ponies, and but that can't be it, because if that were it, then I saw young Avatar Sigourney Weaver rape the evil bitch with her ponytail. And it was apparently painful, okay, because the other bitch started screaming. So I don't understand. Whatever. It's still just Fern Gully for adults. Now, there was a movie. Stranger Things, the final shit is out now since I guess December or November. I don't know. It's so stupid. I don't give a shit. Same thing. Same fucking thing. Maybe that's why I actually kind of liked, no matter what I can no matter what I say about Avatar 3, of course I enjoyed it. The shit was pretty. I'm just saying it was completely unnecessary. But I was about to say that I think maybe this is why I could enjoy Avatar 3. Nobody there looks like they're in the club, even though, of course, they all fucking are. They have that eyebrow bone that's present in all the men and some of the women. Um, Stranger Things was a show that I used to like. I think I enjoyed the first 4 seasons. This is before I knew the truth about the Cabal. Season 5 comes around a little too late. Now I'm fully aware and I can't fucking help but see that, oh, look, everyone's in the fucking club. There isn't one person there that isn't a Khazarian, Phoenician, Canaanite, whatever the fuck you want to call them, Babylonian. And of course, they have the same fucking message as usual. It's the first episode, and immediately the black character comes comes in like, yeah, I'm so tough. I'm gonna help you, buddy, because you know white people are afraid of me. And since I already know what the fuck they're doing with the whole trying to implement the white genocide and replace them with inferiors, um, it's just not anything I'm fucking interested in. For the sake of closure, which I mean, like that's even important when it comes to that stupid shit. But I might just skip all the way to the ending. There were just 8 episodes, by the way. So I'm pretty sure they themselves knew that, okay, the secret's out. Most people know. they're probably not going to really watch this shit because these people started off as children and now they're old ass adults still pretending to be children, which is pretty pathetic. I mean, extremely pathetic. That's not at all what I would have done. You can't help that people get older. I mean, duh. Why not just write it into your fucking story, you fucking morons, instead of putting this oh, these stupid people in giant ass wigs. That's not the real hair. Can't you at least tell them to grow it out? Putting them in the same fucking clothing so that people know which character this is from the previous seasons. Come on. That's just stupid. I don't care. And then you want to tell me they're in high school. Fuck off. Uma Thurman's daughter is so fucking ugly. How did that happen? How did that happen? Uma Thurman was really good looking. Yes, she's got that big old goblin nose even when she was younger, but she was really good looking. She was really pretty. Ethan Hawke is not ugly. How do you take these two people and get that? I have a theory. Their daughter wasn't always a daughter. I believe that that person is actually male. Now, I'm not saying that it was born a boy. I'm saying you can fucking inject testosterone in vitro and you can inject estrogen in vitro. It is possible. Again, this all sounds crazy until you read the fucking Talmud and you realize that that is the shit that they believe in. That's exactly the shit that they would do. They think if it's possible, then God must be cool with it. Honestly, this is fucking ridiculous, but that is how they think. There was this Oprah clip I saw on X the other day where this obese lady was talking about how her Jewish family were Satanists and they would perform child sacrifice for power. This was a short clip, so I didn't see the whole thing. But in this clip, Oprah doesn't really ask many questions. She just fucking goes, "Why?" And then she says, "Oh, it's for power." My first question would have been, what did they do with the dead bodies? Something else that woman said that stuck out to me was, to everyone that knows my family, they seem like a perfectly normal family. And they're not the only ones. There's other Jewish families that do the same thing and more than likely appear to be perfectly normal to everyone. Anyways, I saw the Vince McMahon miniseries on Netflix because I used to be a big wrestling fan, especially of the WWE. Basically just 333. Even more now. It's just two W's or two threes sideways. Which is why most of the fucking wrestlers, they got the belt, they don't wear it. It's hanging off of their fucking shoulder. I really liked it. I thought it was awesome. Um, I've always liked Vince McMahon because I don't think there's any other billionaire that's compares to Vince McMahon. Um, Maybe that one guy in that Martin Scorsese movie, The Aviator. Maybe that guy. After watching the miniseries, I realized this guy is fucking amazing. So, because he went public with his company and other people bought into it, and then because of all the allegations of sexual deviancy, I guess that's pretty much what I can call it. Uh, Vince McMahon was attacked from every angle almost since the beginning of his career. It started with the whole steroids in wrestling, which everyone said he didn't tell us to do it. He didn't give it to us. Why are they going after him? You know? Okay, maybe he is a piece of shit when it comes to the whole perversion shit. I mean, he's in the club. Everyone in the WWE is in the motherfucking club. I don't care if they're Chinese, Japanese, black, Samoan, or white, clearly Jewish. They're all in the club. Okay? So, yes, Vince McMahon is Jewish. And look, sometimes you can ask one of these people straight, direct, are you Jewish? And they will tell you no. But what they mean is that they're not religious, that they don't practice Judaism, you know. But they won't tell you that, well, it's also considered a race. So are you Jewish? Then they might be like, yes. Or they could also say no, because either one, they're lying, or two, like myself, they didn't grow up ever in the club. They probably grew up around a lot of the Khazarian descendants who are technically not Jewish, but they're the same. Which is why I grew up seeing a lot of my uncles who looked just like Sean Penn, Robert De Niro, even Trent Reznor. Yeah, you didn't know? Marilyn Manson and Trent Reznor are in the motherfucking club. Everyone in the entertainment business is in the fucking club. You're like, nah, because I read his autobiographies from Ohio and he went to a Catholic. That doesn't fucking matter. Look at his face. Look at the eyebrow. Look at the nose. Look at the eyes, how close together they are. Everything! I feel like Roddy Piper in the John Carpenter movie, They Live. Except I don't need the fucking glasses. Mine are internal. Anyways, I still like Vince McMahon. I admire athleticism. I admire the fact that they're they're acting a story while performing stunts And sometimes those characters are fucking badass, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, whose real name is Steve Anderson. Yes, he's one of them. And it's just fucking amazing because if you know how movies are made, where just one fucking little line they'll 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 act out like a little paragraph of dialogue, they'll do a little movement, and that's it. That's one entire fucking scene. Cut. Let's set up the next one or whatever. And the wrestlers don't have that luxury. They got to get it right the first time, or they'll fuck it up. And sometimes it's not just a fuck up, like, oh, that was obviously bullshit. Sometimes it's a medical emergency, life threatening fuck up. So I can't help but admire that. Obviously, I was a big fan of Jackass. So, yeah. I stopped watching it. I mean, wrestling in general. I stopped watching wrestling around the time when I was 16. Is that true? I don't know if I was 16. Let me take that back. It was around the time Stone Cold stopped showing up. That was when. That was my favorite guy. And if he's not going to be there, fuck, fuck this. There was a lot of people that I really enjoyed at the time. Of course, I loved D-Generation X, Stone Cold, Lita, the Hardys. Yeah, they were cool. The Dudleys, that was great. Mankind, Undertaker, Kane. I think Brock Lesnar was just coming in. I thought he was pretty cool. Well, I mean, he looks big as fuck, but personality wise, not really. Not when he started. And then, God, what's the other guy? I can't remember. There was some other guy that was just coming in, and he was doing a finisher that looked very reminiscent of the Stone Cold Stunner. Fuck, I can't remember. Randy something. So I didn't get to see much of his matches. John Cena was the same thing. I think he was coming in, so I didn't really get to see much of his matches. Um, the Rock was on his way out, becoming super famous. I was a Stone Cold fan. I mean, I like The Rock, of course. He was so entertaining. You couldn't not like him. But I was a bigger Stone Cold fan. What was I going to say about the Vince McMahon thing? The whole reason why he stopped working there, I just don't agree with it. I saw those text messages. The bitch was, an accomplice in the whole sexual perversion shit and orgies and whatever the fuck they were doing, and you know playing musical chairs, sexual musical chairs with the other wrestlers. According to the text messages that she wrote and I read, I mean, yeah, you can't. This is why I really wish we would have different people in charge. The assholes that have convinced this society, today's society, that women get to change their mind, and that's fine. No responsibility, no repercussions. That's fine. If you have sex with a guy and you change your mind, that's rape. If you go out and get drunk because you wanted to be drunk, because you probably wanted to do what you're gonna do and fuck a random guy, but then you realize that you had second thoughts. You had buyer's remorse. Why did I do that? And your girlfriend tells you he was ugly. Well, now that's rape too, right? If the guy was horny and he notices that you don't want to have sex right now, but he's going to try to convince you otherwise and talk you into it. And because you're a dumb, pathetic bitch, and you just say, all right, fine. No, that's fine. That doesn't count because you're not smart enough to be considered a complete adult. When you say yes, it's the man's responsibility to go out of his way to confirm that legally. Record it, get a witness, have the dumb bitch, sign a statement and says, "Yeah, I said it's fine. Go ahead, fuck me." Because otherwise that's rape too. So, now that we've established the dumbest fucking society in known history, um billionaire Vince McMahon, who made the wrestling entertainment business what it is today, honestly, he can get knocked down from his own thing that he established for so long because some bitch said, and no, I'm not going to quote, but I'm going to paraphrase, because basically this is what it is. She's complaining. She wants some money. And that's really what it's all about. That she was getting fucked by a bunch of wrestlers at orgy parties, being passed around, being treated like a disgusting fucking whore. And she was okay with that until she wasn't. Again, I'm not defending the perverted shit. That's pretty fucked up. But I guess if you're a rich ass billionaire, like Vince McMahon, who's always been kind of a perv, like that's what he's into. Even in the fucking interview, man. Golly. If you watch the documentary series, at one point he's like, "Oh, I think differently because I can be thinking of like two different things at the same time, and sometimes three, but I can't say what the third one would be thinking about." Why not? Well, probably something sexual. Motherfuck. His face looks so different though. It really does. Like it changed so drastically. I wonder if that's even him. Maybe Vince McMahon got taken out and the cabal hired a lookalike. I have no idea, but I wouldn't put it past them. Anyways, I like Vince McMahon. I don't think he did anything illegal. He did something extremely shitty and perverted and fucked up, but not illegal. I'm not trying to make light of real rape, but I will make light out of fake rape because that is bullshit. I think I saw another docu series on there. Arnold. Testing. Okay, good. All right, before I move on to Arnold, I just want to say one last thing about the Vince McMahon um, Netflix documentary series, a mini series. I don't dislike Vince McMahon. I think he is a perv, but not a criminal. I don't, well, I can't say I 100% dislike him because I mostly like him. I don't know of any other billionaire in history that I could compare him to. Maybe Trump, but even Trump pales in comparison to Vince McMahon. I like him. There is really just one thing I don't like, and that's that he basically gave the company that his father started to his daughter and not to Shane McMahon. As much as I like Stephanie, Triple H, Paul, whatever, Shane had some of the best fucking wrestling matches I've ever seen. He wholeheartedly 100% fucking deserved to be the boss, especially now that Vince isn't there. I I know everything would have changed, but everything did change anyways. Um I'd still be watching if Shane McMahon was in charge, and I'm pretty sure that he would have done something a lot more interesting. No offense to Triple H. Um, what he does is very entertaining. It's just not the same. It does not have the same feeling as when Vince was running the show. And I know that, like I just said, it wouldn't be the same show if Shane was running it, but it would be like it would be part of the family. So I'd get it. I wouldn't care if it wasn't exactly the same. It would still be like, yeah, but it's his son. Not, yeah, but it's the guy that married his daughter. God damn. Wow. Didn't he just hit the fucking lottery hooking up with Stephanie McMahon? Good going. What the fuck is up with Jewish people, man? They prefer their daughters to their sons. Now, if your son is a piece of shit and your daughter is the best thing ever, I get it. And I'm not saying Stephanie's a piece of shit, but damn, why overlook Shane McMahon? He's not a piece of shit. He seems like, uh, I mean, I think every father would want a son like Shane McMahon. Look at his fights, honestly. Every one of his fucking fights was epic. I mean, I understand if you want to go down the route that, wrestling's fake, right? I mean, it's predetermined, but the athleticism, the danger, I mean, none of that can really be predetermined, you know. They practice a lot to avoid serious injury, but sometimes it's unavoidable, and there's no way you can fucking say that landing on your back again and again and again and again in a short amount of time isn't fucking painful, no matter how much you practice it. And I would agree that being very muscular kind of cushions the blow. But Shane, he's muscular now. When he was doing those epic fights, he wasn't that muscular. And he was still going for it. Honestly, I would recommend Shane McMahon's fights to anybody. So that's my grievance with Vince. He should have done the right thing and given control to his son. He didn't do that, and it's so disappointing because it's not like Shane was not interested. He actually wanted it. So that pisses me off. I'm upset for him. And I'll always kind of remember that Vince McMahon had this perfect run, and that was his biggest fuck up. Obviously, his other fuck up is going to be being a sexual deviant. Besides the bullshit that got him to dump the company, I know there was something in the 90s, I think it was, according to the documentary. The first female referee, and then she went on Geraldo Rivera, I think, to say Vince McMahon raped me. Except, why didn't you go to the police when it happened? Why? Why are you going on a fucking daytime talk show, a shitty daytime talk show, to talk about it? You know, that's not going to the news and reporting it to a journalist or anything. That's just going on bullshit television. And of course, it was kind of fucked up, but I get it. The audience was turning against her, saying the exact same thing. Like, what do you expect to get out of this now? I mean, I don't think that needs an answer. It's like money. So it's kind of hard to say for sure if it was bullshit. I mean, is it possible? Duh, of course it's possible. But again, if something like that happens, you report it. You don't sit on it because, well, I don't want to get fired. Because then it's not rape. It's you consented, you dumb bitch. You didn't want to, but you just liked your job too fucking much. That's what it is. If years later you look back and you go, I actually didn't want to, that's not the same. I understand that positions of power, right? Bitch felt obligated to. I understand that. But then you make a decision. I don't like that these positions of power exist, but that's the way it is. You can't just say, okay, yeah, let's fuck when you don't want to fuck the old man, but then later go, why did I do that? No, in the motherfucking moment is when you're supposed to go, I'm not gonna do that. And that's it. That's all I really want to say about the Vince McMahon documentary. I enjoyed it. Then I saw the Arnold documentary, and think Arnold's Jewish, just from his eyes, and also because now that I know more about the Hollywood industry, the entertainment industry, everyone on there is Jewish. Everyone. I've been watching the wrestling show WWE, and yeah, absolutely everyone. Everyone has those eyes, the forehead, the nose. Sometimes it's a nose job. The jaw, the jawline. I mean, everyone. It doesn't matter if they're white, black, brown. Uh, they're they're all in that club. From the documentary that WWE put out, the fuck is it called? Undisclosed, unclassified, unfucking believable. I don't know. So the WWE put out a documentary series on the show. Uh, there's two seasons out. Season 2 just came out a little bit ago. I've seen them both. Love that show. So good. And I think what's brilliant about the show is that it it puts these wrestlers that I wasn't even familiar with whatsoever into perspective. You get to know them as people, what they do, what they're about. Um, I think that was one of the main reasons why I stopped watching the show. I had stopped watching the show when some of the wrestlers that I was into stopped working. I didn't give a shit about the new wrestlers. And so I never saw a way back in because I didn't know any of the wrestlers. And I pretty much had to just watch the show to get to know them. And I just didn't really care to. Watching this documentary and getting to know the current roster was great. Now I see them and I'm not lost. I actually have some emotional investment. I want to see what happens, how they do now that I've gotten to know them. I think. I honestly don't fucking know. From the stories I've heard about Hollywood and the entire entertainment business, you don't know anything about these people. They put out fake fucking stories and give fake alias bullshit names all the time. Oh man. And this isn't conspiracy theories. Most of America's billionaires, like the Rockefellers or the Biltmore, Vanderbilt, something like that. Most of these super mega rich who have retarded ass stories that start in the 1800s or something like that. How they were real fucking poor, but they just worked a lot. And that's how they became the first billionaires. Kiss my ass. Fuck you. That's so stupid. Only dumb shit idiots, which I guess is everyone, almost everyone, would believe some dumb garbage lies like that. Sorry, but the amount of money that people would pay for things back then would not accumulate that fast. That's a lie. So these stories are lies. They were pretty much uh, family members of royalty. They were like royal family members that they would send off as agents. They were already rich. You just never knew because they came up with bullshit stories. Where was I? Arnold Schwarzenegger. What can I say about him? Um, cute mom. Um, I didn't know he had a brother and that he died. That sucks. Again, I don't know if any of this is actually true. Um, I didn't like the part when they got to the infidelity, to his affair with the maid. I didn't get to see what she actually looked like, so I have no idea if she was at least hot or if she was just in proximity and willing. Oh man. But you know what? They did show his son, the one he had with the maid. And his son looks incredible. Looks very much a lot like him. Works out with him. Looks awesome. I mean, not, the next Mr. Universe awesome, but looks pretty great. And the son he had with Maria Schreiber looks like a fag. He looks very, very overweight, very feminine. In fact, I don't think I'm out of line because Arnold even said once, not about his son, his first son specifically, but in general, he said that Maria used to always tell them to talk about their feelings. And so Maria, who is clearly Jewish, clearly, by the way, and she was really good looking too when she was young. In fact, she was good looking all the way up to Arnold running for governor of California. And then when he won, almost like a month or so later, Maria doesn't look like Maria Shriver anymore. She looks like she's been dipping into the adrenochrome and there was a shortage and she aged like 10 fucking years. Go watch the video. You'll see what I'm talking about. She looked good and then bam, a few months later she looks like shit and she just stayed there. So, I don't know, but she was pretty attractive, except I wouldn't marry a goblin just because they have really fucked up views on everything and they want everything to be the opposite. And so, of course, if you want to have a daughter with one of them, they'll probably grow up to be not the type of woman you would want them to be. And if you have a boy with them, they're going to grow up to be girls. So, why would anyone fucking want that? But thankfully, he fucked the maid and he got a great son out of it. So, you know, I guess everything happens for a reason. And I don't think there's anything left for his career. I think, oh, one thing I didn't know about Arnold Schwarzenegger at all was that he was already a fucking millionaire before he even made Terminator. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? He was winning competition after competition, but that's not what made him a millionaire. What made him a millionaire is what he did with his money. He bought commercial real estate, and I guess he was leasing it or renting it out. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Something. And he was a fucking millionaire. I mean, that's the reason why he was always able to sort of pick the roles that he wanted and not just any gay shit. Like I feel sad for actors that I don't want to name names just because I guarantee if I say, for example, Bruce Campbell, what an awesome actor in the Evil Dead series. I love Ash versus the Army of Darkness. But Bruce Campbell, being an actor, has kissed a man in a movie. Ew. Uh I guarantee if I brought that up to him, he'd be like, I'm an actor. That's normal. Sometimes you gotta do blah blah blah. No. No, you don't. I mean, I guess sometimes you can afford to pass. I'm not going to kiss another man. Um, yeah. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you're like, I guess I'm gonna have to go gay now. Horrible. And Arnold didn't have to do that, which of course begs the question: then why the fuck does Junior exist? Where Arnold played. How do you describe this role? I saw this movie once when it came out, I think. And of course, I had no desire in me to ever see it again. Once was horribly enough. Arnold plays a man that gets pregnant. He becomes the first fucking male with a fetus growing inside of it. By the way, if any of if any fucking normal human out there would question where the fuck is the baby coming out of? Yes, his asshole. No, no. I mean, obviously, that's, I think, what anybody would fucking, that's the first thing that would come into your mind, right? I mean, it's not going to come out of his dick hole. The movie pretends that no one would ever wonder about that, and just gives Arnold a motherfucking C-section. And I saw this piece of shit when I was a kid, so the fact that I can still remember that, I still have no fucking desire in ever watching that piece of shit again. So I think that would be like John Cena going out naked in front of a live audience at the Oscar Awards, I think. You know, the Freemasons just doing their fucking hazing ritual. I'm gonna fuck with you. I'm gonna make fun of you. I'm gonna make you feel small and make you do stupid shit. Like pretending to be a pregnant man, Arnold. I know I'm supposed to, like everybody else, believe that, well, actually, the truth about that movie is that it was the second time working with Danny DeVito, and because he's such good friends with that tiny little Jewish midget, he just had to work with him again because of, Twins. Twins was such a hit. Okay, Twins was a hit because it was fun, because of the story. Junior was not. It was the total opposite. I don't know how the fuck Conan the Barbarian reads that fucking garbage and thinks, I love this. This is so good. Danny, we need to do this now. Do it now. No, that was hazing. That was some Freemason Jewish pieces of shit saying, we need to get the word out to everyone that men can get pregnant. What do you have in mind to put in front of this piece of shit? Of course, that's not what they would say, because to them it's like this genius or work of art. Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, of course. Yeah. Twins. The cast of twins. Everyone's going to love this fucking movie. Of course. Yeah. Well, the Arnold series was fun ish. I hated the Sly docu movie. So after I finished watching the Arnold thing, I saw that Sylvester Stallone had his own little documentary, but it was just one fucking movie. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was two. Somehow I have a feeling it was just one. I don't know. Can't remember. It went by really fucking fast and it ignored a whole lot of shit. It never talked about his mother. I think it showed his mother in one picture and never even mentioned that she was in roller derby. Um, it showed pictures and clips of his actual son that was with him in the movie Rocky 5, and he died. I don't know how. They just refused to talk about it. Sylvester Stallone never even fucking addressed it. Never. We talked more about how his father was shit. And yeah, apparently his fucking father was always trying to compete with him. This is insane. I don't fucking understand this. If I had um my son who was very successful in movies and whatever, I'm not gonna try to go prove to the world that actually, if you think my son's so great, you have no fucking idea how great I am. Uh, they did some horse riding. They were playing horse polo. I think that's what it's called. I don't know what the fuck. I've never played it. I've been on horses before, but not like that. Um, and Stallone's father ruins the game for him for life, and actually tries to sort of hurt him, like physically, while playing the game. Sylvester Stallone got lucky and just avoided being seriously injured. And that's just one of the incidents in the documentary. Another one was after Sylvester wrote Rocky and got it made. Um, the old man wanted to write his own story about Rocky or some shit like that, or using some of the characters. I can't remember. I'm not sure if it was a prequel or something, which, by the way, I'm shocked that they haven't thought of doing that. Like, Sylvester Stallone should honestly, it just popped in my head, he should write a prequel and it should star, I mean, the character. It should star Mick, you know, before he became that old man. Like, you can't remember one of his fucking lines. I just remember he had a real scratchy voice. He kind of reminded me of like a Popeye. That would be kind of cool. He might make some money there. And with all the computer graphic bullshit, he could probably make a special appearance near the end as his younger self. That that might be all right. I kind of hate that Rocky ended with Rocky 6 and it kind of continued with the Creed trilogy, which I've been meaning to watch. I've seen some of the first movie, and the second one interests me, right? Because Apollo's son is fighting Drago's son. Is it Drago or Draco? I don't fucking know. Dolph Lundgren's in it. That's why I want to watch it. The third one, I don't even want to watch since Stallone's not in it at all. It just kind of feels like, oh, okay, so these assholes, they just sort of yanked the franchise away from Stallone. That's fucking bullshit. You know that it all started with him and he's not going to be in it. Fuck you. Um, and maybe a lot of people agree because there wasn't a fourth movie, but it might have something to do with that one guy, that one guy that changed Marvel. Well, the movies. I can't remember. Khan. He was gonna play. I don't know what his fucking name was. He was in the Loki series. He seemed all right, and then he was gonna be the next big villain, which I actually looked forward to. I was actually very surprised at Marvel, who is pretty much, you know, Talmud Landia. That's what they should be called. They they have their strict guidelines on how to do things. When it comes to men and women, let's pretend that women are superior. Check. Um, let's always say that white people are horrible and everyone else is superior to white people because it's a lie. Check. Um, we need to pretend that white people don't exist unless it's a fellow white, which is really just a Jewish person in person LARPing as a white. We need to make sure to be more inclusive, which actually means the opposite to them. It just means let's make everything be a cast of brown people, black people, and that's it. And of course, they have to pretend that black people could not be a villain. What? They can't even be racist. We're not going to make them villains. So this was actually refreshing, to hear that the next big villain was going to be a black guy. Great. Something new. And then something happened. Oh, Disney's decided we're not going to do that shit. Why? Well, he allegedly beat the fuck out of his wife, and we don't want that to be our type of thing. Okay. It's my chair. My chair was throwing me off. I fucking hate some chairs. You know how they curve around the your lower back area, and it's like, no, man. Or they come out way too forward, forcing you to curve into that. I'm sitting on a table that's very flat. That's what I prefer. My back can actually be straighter. What was I saying? Disney's a piece of shit, and that's right. So I didn't like the Sylvester Stallone documentary very much at all. It felt like bullshit. It felt like it had a ton of holes, like they edited the fuck out of it. And he's moving. Like, why is that even included? Give me a fucking payoff. You decided to include that he's moving. Okay, show me where. Show me his new place. No, that's private. Then keep it to yourself. Don't fucking tell me he's moving and then act like, oh, but you're not invited. Then don't even fucking tell me about it. Watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not even done with the documentaries. I don't know why I liked documentary. I don't like all documentaries, but there's a couple. I also saw the Charlie Sheen, aka Charlie Sheen, and The American Gladiators documentary series. That was fucking awesome. I actually met one of them when I was a kid. I think it's the one that was naked in the John Ritter movie. She has really nice legs. But I was a kid, so it's not like I I wasn't even like fully online at the time. I wasn't fully connected. I just saw things that were cool, and as a kid, everything is cool. Um, there's another documentary. I think it's called Wrestlers. It's with Al Snow. I had no fucking idea that Al Snow owns his own wrestling company in, is it Kentucky or Ohio? I don't fucking know. It's one of those two. They're so near by each other. It's practically the same thing, right? Awesome. I loved this indie wrestling. It was so fucking cool. I wouldn't have thought so. I actually thought, well, this is going to be boring. I'm not going to like this. This is bullshit. But again, the documentary helped me get to know these unknown wrestlers. I see them as people. I see them as entertainers. I start to respect them because of the documentary. So I think there really is something to that. I hope that Wrestlers gets another season, but who knows? They're not, they're not as big as the WWE, so might not happen. But that one season, that was special. I recommend it to anybody that's a fan of wrestling. God, I realize I'm doing a lot of commercializing commercials for fucking Netflix. Watch it if you have it. If you don't have Netflix, that's okay. Netflix is a big piece of shit. They don't deserve your money. Just watch it online. Do a search. You can find it for free. It's not that hard. No, it's not on sites that are gonna, fuck up your computer or anything. Well, hopefully. Um, go to F movies. F movies, wrestlers, or F movies Arnold. I don't know. You'll find it. You don't need to give your money to Netflix. Netflix is such a shit company because of who runs it, because of who runs its family. If you check out the backstory on the guy that owns and runs and created Netflix, you're going to realize that, oh, it's a communist agenda. Fuck that. Not giving my money to that shit. And who are the communists? Yeah, that's right. The enemy. Jewish people. Speaking of telling the truth and being honest no matter what, I did some research on the First Amendment and where it exists and where it doesn't. Canada, where it exists. The United States, of course. And in Mexico. Very surprised. So I think I did the research, not for myself, because I'm really not calling out for the genocide of whoever the fuck. But I was surprised because I've seen so many other fucking people, black people, Jewish people, asking, demanding the genocide of white people. And I just thought to myself, how the fuck is this hate speech? It's actual hate speech. I mean, it's one thing to point out, to call out when people do things wrong, when people are doing things illegally, or in my opinion, it's illegal what the fuck they're doing. They're just not going out of the way to prove it, right? Stealing children, poisoning society, with all these fucking extra additives that are absolutely not necessary. I caught myself a few weeks ago looking at this bag of sourdough bread. I saw the ingredients were like a paragraph long, and I thought, what the fuck? And of course, I don't know what most of those things are because they're names that I'm not even used to, that you never hear in everyday life. So instead of looking up each fucking ingredient to educate myself on what the hell it is, I just said I just looked up what the recipe for uh, sourdough bread. I said I looked up the recipe for sourdough bread from 100 years ago, and it said water, salt, uh, and you know whole wheat flour. That's it. I mean, the fourth ingredient would be the sourdough bread starter, which is fermented flour. But that's it. I know that there's a bunch of other things you can put into it, like butter, sugar. But basically, you just need those four ingredients and you got your bread. Why the fuck is the shit you get at the store a paragraph long of ingredients? So I already knew that wasn't right, and I don't want that. So I started getting my sourdough bread at a local bakery where they make it using just those three ingredients. And poisoning the air. I mean, I don't understand why it continues. You know, you see those artificial clouds. They're not clouds. They're poison. They're metals. Why haven't we gone to war? Oh man, we're really waiting for the enemy to tell us that, okay, now you're ready to fight us. But I digress. So apparently, hate speech is protected under the First Amendment. And people, low IQ and demon goblins, can just call for the genocide of white people whenever the fuck they want to because they're expressing themselves. So it's protected under the First Amendment. So what is not protected? You know? When is it too much? And basically what I've found is you can't attack an individual. You can't say this piece of shit needs to be killed. Oh, maybe that is protected as well. Fine. You can't directly make threats. You can't say, I'm going to kill this piece of shit, because then that's not protected. And you can't incite violence, even though, honestly, we can be perfectly honest. How is constantly saying that you want the genocide of white people not fucking inciting violence? How? Is it because you said genocide? And as long as it's only a few people getting killed, it's not technically a genocide? Is that it? Maybe. I did hear something today on X. There was a guy passionately screaming about why are the Jewish, the fake Jews, Khazars, getting away with all this stuff. If they've been constantly getting exiled and kicked out of countries, 109 countries over 1,000 times or some shit like that, why are they still breathing? Why didn't somebody bury them already? If they're stealing children and doing their adrenochrome torture shit, why is it continuing? The only real answer, I think, has to be that all right, there's two. So either Renfan, aka Saturn, aka Kronos, is a real Nephilim still alive somewhere and hooks them up with their reptilian demon descendants, taking care of their little synagogue of Satan shit. Somehow. Or, and I guess it's going to be maybe a little bit of both, but mostly this one. Since these pieces of shit have positions of power, like they clearly do everywhere, and the people aren't united, like we clearly aren't, that's going to be the main reason. We're not united, so we can't say all of a sudden, okay, let's go fucking get them. We have to wait for our enemy leaders to tell us when that time will be. And then, because they're in charge, they're going to eventually say, let's make peace with them, or something along the lines of that, where the conclusion will be just amicably let them leave. We all make mistakes, right? We're all fucking horrible, disgusting, perverted demons, enemies of all humanity. And I kind of understand how they can continue to get away with that, because like I said earlier, they're not just white. They're not just brown, black. They can look they can very much look Asian. Khazaria was in Central Asia. So most real Khazars do have those almond-shaped eyes that look very much Asian. Yeah. Look at Ryan Reynolds' eyes. Those are Khazar eyes. And yes, he is Jewish. He's not a Jew. He is Jewish. Get it? They're not Israelites. They're Israeli. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've said the story before. Hopefully, you've looked it up. The Khazarian Empire, which used to be Babylon, which used to be Canaanites, they fought Genghis Khan, almost died, went to Turkey, then from there went all over the place. Not just to England, Denmark, and what's the other place they went to? Fuck, I can't remember. Norway? Yeah. Then they became the Ashkenazi. But out of Turkey, some of them even went to Mexico. And by the way, if they start off in Central Asia, how much you want to bet some of them didn't stay right the fuck there? So yeah, they're all over the place. since they created this society that wasn't always present, but this current society that bows down to money like a god, right? Moon, monarchy. They can easily control people who bow down to money. The Amish really know what the fuck they're doing. They're not in the satanic system. I remember I saw some piece of shit garbage, like a documentary series from TLC. It was following some stupid idiots that were used to be in an Amish community. And I guess they wanted to experience life off of the community, out of the community, I mean. And they just became garbage. It was so sad. But this is basically the Jewish idea of what living and real freedom is all about: debauchery, just lowering yourself, just becoming a shittier version of of yourself, with no filters, no restraints, no self-control, no discipline. Anybody that's been alive long enough will know that this is a quick recipe for ruining yourself. But young people won't. To them, it's a fantasy that sounds real good. What they don't realize is that you can lose yourself and maybe never find a way back. The leaders of the satanic group, they already know. That's exactly what they want. Their followers don't necessarily know. And I think that's also the way they want it. They're much better at spreading the bullshit if they have no idea that it's bullshit. So, thank you, First Amendment. I'm glad that I can legally point out when the scum of the earth, synagogue of Satan, does fucked up shit. Sure, I'll never get to have a good job and my my social life, or what is it? They threaten. Yeah, you're canceled. You can't say anything about the Jewish people, but they do it all the time. Yeah, but it's okay when the Jews do it. The Jewish community can say shit about others, and that's fine. But we can't say how shitty the Jewish are. Get it? Not a two-way street. More and more, it seems that people are waking up and realizing the truth, and that's just beautiful. I hope it. I hope it stays that way. I hope things get better. Well, maybe I shouldn't hope for that, just because I don't want to be disappointed. And I am sure that everything happens for a reason. And if we're in the little season, then we only have good things to look forward to. I would love that. Okay. bring this back. Because I want to wrap it up. I want to close up with let's see, what can I say about that one documentary about the American gladiators? I had no idea how unprofessional the people making the show really were. I had no idea how fucking dangerous the show was, not just for the contestants, but also the gladiators. Um, it seemed like they had a, a shit load of fun. And it's sad to hear that it couldn't last longer, that that it could have lasted longer if it wasn't for the scumbags in charge of that channel, of the show, of all that shit, not wanting to share in the profits with the people that are making the show great. That is just fucking stupid. Short sighted idiots. It would have been great if they did the right thing and they realized that no, it's the contestants come and go. The gladiators are here with us all the fucking time, pushing the show. So these businessmen must have been rich for so long that they're not that smart. It became stupid. I like that show. If it was on, I'd still watch it. But you're probably going to want to put out a documentary first so I can get to know these people, because the only reason why I'm saying that I'd watch it is because of the documentary that I saw. I used to watch it when I was a kid. I even remember that one guy from from the from the Wayans movie White Girls, bald guy, big giant guy, Terry something. I can't fucking remember. I think he started out in the American Gladiators. Pretty sure that I saw him on there. They didn't mention him at all in the fucking documentary. I was waiting for that, but I think he's been blacklisted. That's probably what it was. He went to court and he tried to fucking, you know, blow a whistle on these demonic synagogue of Satan pieces of shit, um, saying that they wanted to do things sexually, because that's honestly what it is. Most of these Jewish parasites, because of the Talmud explaining how there's more than two genders, most of them are fucking gay. Most Jewish men are fucking gay. A lot of them, because of the Talmud, which is their number one book. It's not the Tanakh, which is, the Old Testament to us. It's the Talmud. And hey, there's two versions of the Talmud. There's the Jewish Talmud and the original Talmud, which is the Babylonian Talmud. Duh. What does that tell you? Come on. Put two and two together. They used to not be Jewish. There you go. Okay. Thank you. Do yourself a favor, read the 13th Tribe. They'll tell you all about who the Khazars are. The Khazars who became the Ashkenazi. Interesting last four letters. Nazi. Nazi. Yes. Nazi. Ashkenazi. The American Gladiators documentary was fucking awesome, very entertaining. Um, I guess if you see a pattern in all these documentaries, it's talking about the private lives of very strong people, athletic people. I can work out to these things and enjoy myself. And I did. And I honestly wish they were longer. There was more. This next documentary that I saw is not exactly like the other ones. It's not about someone athletic, it's about someone I was a big fan of. I like Platoon, I like Major League, Major League 2, I like Hot Shots. um, I think he was even in Young Guns briefly. Men at Work, I thought that one was fun. Charlie Sheen, also known as Carlos Estevez. Before you ask, yes, he is. Okay? Learn to recognize a Jewish person. Their eyes are pretty much touching. They have small foreheads. They always have that same jaw. Maybe not the same chin, but the same fucking jaw. And sometimes they have a hideous goblin nose, and sometimes it's just a pointy nose. Now, I'm not saying that Martin Sheen or Charlie Sheen are hideous motherfuckers or Emilio Estevez. They're not. They got lucky, very lucky, but I can still tell they're Jewish. Once you understand what they look like, then the next step is to judge them based on character, not, what they look like. A Jewish person will always act like a Khazar. Who are the Khazars? The Khazars were a satanic death sex cult that worshipped dick, phallics, or phalluses. Why? I don't fucking know. Gay, probably. So, if you're wondering if someone is a villain, but you don't want to be racist or a bigot or a discriminator, pay attention to their character. Now, according to the AKA Charlie Sheen documentary, Charlie's parents were really fucking normal, except they were fucking nudists. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. Does that sound like a Jewish person to you? Yes. Yes. I probably enjoy being naked as much as the next person, but I don't do it. Why? Because it's a little perverted, you know? When you're Go ahead and try it and tell me if you don't think of sexual shit. All right? It will happen. Um I think that's why I don't. Like if I'm alone by myself, I might hang out in my underwear, but I'm not going to be naked. That's just not a good recipe there. It's a recipe for disaster. And maybe you don't care and maybe you don't practice semen retention and you don't see any benefits in that, but you're stupid. Honestly, yeah. And yes, there are a lot of stupid people that think that jerk off, why not? Well, let me tell you, as someone that practices semen retention, I gain a lot of muscle from working out at minimal capacity, I think. And I don't think it was that way when I used to work out and have an active sex life. I don't recommend it. A lot of people do it, but I don't know. I think it probably has some negative side effects. If you spill your seed way too fucking often, you're probably bald. You're probably aging faster than you should. You probably get sick often. And when you are sick, it lasts forever. So don't trust me. Don't take my word for it. Ask your local Jewish doctor. What do they say? Oh, it's good. Yeah, do it. Boosts your immune system. Oh, fuck off, you fucking liar. Having sex with shitty people gives you parasites. That's the truth of it. The real reason why they're constantly polluting everyone's brains into believing that, yeah, fuck around. Yeah, that's freedom. Dumbasses. So Charlie Sheen likes to party. He's inhuman and he can pollute himself with a ton of poison and be all right. Not a very good father. I'm sorry, but the way he talks to his autistic son, with the he leaves a bunch of notes whenever his son does something wrong. He's like, "You shithead," and I mean, honestly, watch the documentary. He says it like it's a joke, okay? And I guess his son takes it like it's a joke. But most jokes have one foot in sincerity. So, I had no idea how much of a drug addict Charlie Sheen was. That's a lie. I had somewhat of an idea. It's just it was more abstract, and now it's very concrete. I always wanted to watch Two and a Half Men. I think I've seen every other piece of shit show out there, from Seinfeld all the way to The Big Bang to How I Met Your Whore of a Mother, Friends, and I don't know what the fuck else. I've seen everything. So, of course, if I saw this, I know I'd enjoy it. It's just that ever since I found out the truth about the clergy plan, the synagogue of Satan, the goblins, I can't enjoy television anymore. I can't enjoy it. It'll be way too fucking obvious when they start talking about how, and sometimes it's direct, but most of the time it's indirect. Like they won't tell you black people are superior just out of nowhere. Sometimes they will, but most of the time it's indirect. They'll show it to you. They'll show you a white person not knowing what to do and being confused, and then all of a sudden there's a black person that knows exactly what to do. That's an indirect way of telling you that black people are better than white people. Do you understand? So they're constantly giving you examples in the Disney bullshit or in anything that is created and produced by the synagogue of Satan people. It's always the same fucking message. Women are better than men. Black people are better than white people. Slutty whores are better than conservative Christians. Always, 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 always the same message. And since I know, I can't not see it every time it pops up. Like I'm so sick of the entertainment industry. I don't give a fuck about it. Everything. I actually really just want to turn it all off. And I'm close. I'm pretty close. I do like movies, but they're usually movies from the past. New movies usually can kiss my ass. I do not give a fuck about those. Maybe I'll see some every once in a while, but not at all like I used to when I was a parentless child, which is pretty much how it feels for me. That's how I grew up. My parents were there, they just weren't real parents. It's like they were two adults that lived in the same house as I did, but we weren't a family. It was hard, it was difficult. I didn't really have a family until I had my daughter. And honestly, that's all I need. Maybe one day there'll be more. Maybe one day I'll be a grandfather. I look forward to that. I don't know what the fuck to say about Charlie Sheen's documentary. It was fun. I think that one was two parts. Denise Richards is funny, but I think she might be phony. I don't know. She kind of felt like she was playing a character, but she did a good job. So if that's sincerely who she is, damn. Of course, it would take a person like that to marry Charlie Sheen and have kids with him. Oh, and he has AIDS or HIV, I should say. Um, but you know, he's able to take the Magic Johnson drugs. So as long as he keeps taking those special medication, it's like he doesn't even have HIV. It won't register in a blood test or something like that. Um, what the fuck else? Because of all those drugs, I think maybe even crack, I don't know, heroin, I have no idea. But he did the gay drug. He turned gay. He said it in camera, on camera, that it's because of the drugs that he experimented with men. Gross. I'm, I'm glad they didn't go into detail there. Um, and he answered it with no shame. With no shame. Oh, fuck. How do you go from Denise Richards, who's real pretty, and being a dad to. Uh, just gonna drop it. That's. So I don't ever want to do drugs because you become a fucking idiot, I guess. You start thinking thoughts like, hey, taking it up the ass, or putting it in another man up the ass. That sounds like an all right idea since I'm on drugs. I wonder why this never occurred to me when I wasn't on drugs. Jeez. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. Just say no to being a faggot. All right, that's it. That's it. That's all fuck I'm gonna say on this one. All right. Good night.